Welcome to Cricket Wings. This is your online creative space. This is where we deal in crafts, in poetry, in writing, in music, anything that involves getting the creativity from the inside out. Now today I'm going to show you how to make a puppet slash character slash card. It's not aimed at children, it's not aimed at adults, it's aimed at human beings who want to make something with their hands. So this is the one that I have just made. She is the Cricket Wings superhero, and she is made using all of the templates that are completely available to you here. I'll also put some photos of previous characters that I have made. And without further ado, we are going to learn how to make one of these characters. So it's very simple. I'm going to show you the things that you need. Some of the things are more essential than other things, so don't panic if you haven't got exactly the things that I have. The first things that you will need is some paper or card. I tend to use card, but when I first made them, I made the templates from a cereal packet. So if you haven't got any card or paper, but you have got a cereal packet or some kind of junk packet that nobody minds you cutting up, then you can always do that. I have things to cut with, so whether that be scissors or a craft knife with a craft board. I have a pencil to do the drawing around, and then when it comes to the decorating, we've got some other options as well. So when I first started to make these, I sat down with my cereal packet and I made some templates. I can see you panicking already. I have turned the templates into an online form that you can download for free from my website. So you can simply print them off, or you can bring it up on your screen and copy them out onto a piece of paper if you haven't got a printer. So I have got an arm. You use the same arm turned over to do both sides. I've got skirts. I've got the body shape. I've got the calf and the foot, so the bottom part of the leg. I've got the thigh. Again, you're going to do two thighs, unless you're doing a skirt, at which point you miss this bit out. I've got various different hair shapes, so that you can either design your own character or try and make your card look as much like the person you're making it for as possible. Of course, it doesn't have to be a card. It can be a puppet, it can be a character for a story or a play. You're going to use your creativity here. And I randomly made some instruments and things like that as well, because a lot of my friends play the guitar. So if you're a guitar friend and I'm making you a birthday card, the chances are it will be you playing a guitar. Okay? So you've got your template, you've got your card, you've got something to draw around it with, you've got something to cut it out with. When it comes to putting it together, we've got options again. So I tend to use these kind of paper fastener winch things. You can just use paper fasteners, or split pins we used to call them, or if you haven't got either of those things, a stapler where you only put the hole through one side, or sticky dots or sellotape. Okay, but we will get to that, so don't panic. So firstly, you are going to draw around the different parts of the template that you need to make the character that you wish to make. Now, I'm going to speed this up. You should be able to get most of the characters from one piece of card. I tend to have two just in case you slip with the pencil, or you slip with the scissors, or you decorate it and you change your mind about how you want to decorate it. So, body piece. I'm placing my pieces as close together as I can, knowing that I can still cut around them, because I don't want to waste any paper, because the less paper you use on one, the more you can make. So you could end up with your own puppetry characters and your own play. This is where you need some friends. So remember to turn over the template when you're doing the other side so that they match. Otherwise you might end up with two left feet, which may be a really good thing for your character, I don't know. I think I'm going to use this hair today, but you can choose whatever you want. You can actually design your own as well. Once you kind of have the other bits of the template, you can just make it up really. I think I've got all of my body parts here. I don't know whether you can see because I've done it in pencil. I've got a guitar, not part of the body. I've got the main body piece. I've got two thighs, I've got two arms, two bottom legs, the hair, and I've got a guitar as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut those out. Now you've got choices here, scissors of various sizes or a craft knife, but if you do that, make sure that you're also using one of these craft mats as well. So I'm going to speed this up and I'm going to go ahead and do that. A trick if you're using a craft knife is keep the knife at the angle that works for you and then turn the page so that your wrist isn't at a funny angle. When you get to a point where it turns, turn the page. Also let the blade do the cutting rather than your hand. If you're expecting your hand to cut it, to pull it through, then you often go faster than the blade does, and that's when you end up ripping your paper. So let the blade do the cutting. If there are other humans in the house and they don't let you use craft knives, don't worry, your time will come. Okay. So that is all of my pieces cut out of one piece of A4 card. You can probably see it better there than you did with it held up before. So you can fit it all in. It depends how many accessories you want for your puppet or your card or your character. I've got all the pieces I need to make a character, a creature, a being. And I'm just going to lay them out a bit like a puzzle. Take a look at what I've got. And what you'll notice is each of the points on the human body where we've kind of got a hinge is included on here. I will show you later that if you want to include your character playing the guitar, we're going to add another hinge, the elbow hinge, so that that actually works. So I have got my character laid out here. I'll just bring her down so that you can see her head as well. So she's got all of her bits and bobs. You're then going to choose how to decorate it. You want to decorate it before you put it together because you don't want to be trying to get your pens and your paints or whatever underneath the hinges once you've got them going. So you've got choices. Colouring pens, if you've got those, you can do those. I did a really nice one once that was just a black biro. So if you haven't got colouring pens, don't worry, you can be creative, you can do lots of different shapes. I sometimes will use pastel crayons. When I buy those, I actually buy the cheapest ones that you can possibly get because they have a brighter gleam to them. You can't blend them, but that's not what I'm going for here. If you are a good blender, then go for it. I love these calligraphy inks. They come in different sorts. So what you usually have is a black, a silver or a gold one that is the permanent one. So you would paint that on first, do all of your edges, the bits that you wanted to divide your piece with, and then you would use all of the colours to fill it in once it had dried, and the black tends to stop the colours merging into each other as long as you've let it dry completely. So I like to use these. With these I have made a card for my dad who is a Morris dancer. So I made the character of him as a Morris dancer, dressed him in all of his usual garb, added a melodeon that pushed and pulled to that as well, and these came out brilliantly. I made a card for my sister where I dressed her up as a superhero. I think it was the idea of being super mum, and I sent that to her. And I made one for my friend where she gigs with me all the time. She was in a gig outfit with her flute, and she was playing the flute. So you can go in any direction you want. If you want to make a clown, if you want to make a creature, if you want to make a kind of animalized version, instead of making hair, you could play with making different animal ears, different creatures. So you can go in whatever direction you want. I'm just going to have a think about where I want to go with this. And, well, you'll see. I'll speed it up. I will get my creative brain on, and then we will talk about how to put it together in just a few moments. So you can add whatever details you want. I am going to do the Cricket Wings superhero. I have just decided in that moment. So, and it's an insect, so it must have 6 legs, but really big eyes. Right. That is my Cricket Wings superhero, but you can do whatever design most inspires you. So the main difference between a cricket and a grasshopper is that grasshoppers have got much shorter antennae, crickets have those long curly antennae, and that they rub their wings together to make the sound, whereas grasshoppers rub their legs against their wings to make their chirping sound. So, a little bit of information for you there. Make sure when you decorate your pieces that you are matching them side by side, unless of course you want a walk like an Egyptian puppet, which you may indeed want, in fact. So, as you wish. So, if the hair is going to be there, I need to judge where to put the eyes. And I'm just going to do big round eyes. In fact, I'm then going to give a kind of mask, I think. Like that. And I'm not going to give any mouth at all. That's completely up to you. A mouth gives an expression, and if you're going to use them as puppets, actually without the mouth you can make them have any emotion that you want. So you can make them happy, or you can just leave it open for you to do as you wish. And I'm going to keep mine quite plain. I'm also wondering now why a cricket superhero would be playing the guitar. Answers on a postcard maybe, so let's just get rid of that one. I like these inks because you get the same colour no matter what. I often find that when I mix paints, I won't actually mix enough, and then I'm trying to mix the same colour again and it never quite works. I guess you can use the watercolour straight from the block. I often also use acrylics just straight out of the tube, but I like bright colours, and you may not. I like bright colours, you can probably see that. That's that one. Well, it says nut brown. To me it looks more purple, but there we go. First time using this one. I think if I opened a bag of nuts and the nuts were this colour, I might be going back to the shop with them. You can see that I often turn up at work with paint all over my hands and bizarre things going on. Luckily they know me quite well. That's definitely fuchsia pink. When I'm doing crafts, I often get a little bit carried away, and instead of waiting for things to dry, I go a bit haphazard with them. But I guess that's all part of the fun. Paint cans it is. So, I have designed my Cricket Wings superhero. I'm just going to come and grab the camera so that I can show you what it looks like at this point, and then we're going to let it dry, and we're going to come back together so that we can put it all together into your characters. There it is. Cricket Wings. Our Cricket Wings superhero has now dried. So I'm going to show you some options for putting it together. My preferred option is to use one of these hole punches, and then these kind of grommets. I'm actually not sure what they're called, but you can get them in most craft shops. If you haven't got access to those, you can use paper fasteners or split pins. You can use sticky dots. You could do a little stitch with a needle and thread, or you can use a stapler. But this is exactly the way it says on the tin kind of job. So you place the bits together, you put the hole in. Now the idea is you want all of the different bits to move. So that's why I like the grommets so much, because they move but they don't have the bit sticking out of the back. But there is no issue with paper fasteners. If that's what you've got, then go with it. Most of the things that we make them with whatever we've got to hand. So that's what we'll be trying to do here on Cricket Wings. So she's got hair. Her hair moves in the wind, or when she's doing her amazing acrobatics, or indeed her crafting. I'm going to put her arms on. Now I did mention that if you want to add an instrument, or I don't know, I guess you could make things like a cricket bat or various things. If you want other parts of the body to move, then just cut an extra hinge in, you know, just round the arm off here, round the arm off here, overlap them and put another hinge in. In fact, you can get your character to do pretty much anything that the human body can, just by adding a few more hinges. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these. So there she is. So her legs move, her arms move. You can always add the extra hinge there if you want. Her hair moves. Now you have options. So if that is going to be a birthday card for somebody, maybe you've made a version of them as a little puppet character, then you can write your message on the back. In the past I have made ones where I've put a message on each body part. So something like on the arms and on the hands, arms that play beautiful music. On the head, a brain that creates beautiful poetry. Legs that know just when they need to get somewhere. So you can do what you choose with it. What I've also done in the past is I've got a pack of kebab sticks. Now you can use proper doweling if you want. A pack of kebab sticks costs £1, and if you're worried about the sharp edge, you can just chop it off. They're fairly thin to get through. You could attach using sticky tape just one stick at the back, or you could attach one at the back and ones on the arms and the legs, so that you've actually got a moving puppet. Completely up to you where you want to go with this. You may just decide that through the grommet and the head you want to attach a piece of ribbon and just hang it on the wall. But quite a nice, fun, easy craft to do for all ages. As I say, I make them for adults, but I have also done them with children who absolutely love them too. So just something that will get your creativity from inside to the outside, and something that is quite a nice gift for a friend or for a loved one as well. So I'll go ahead and put the templates up on my website, which is www.cricketwings.co.uk. I'm also doing all of the social media things, and if you have any comments or things that you would like to say, there are plenty of ways to contact me. So there we have it. That is our Cricket Wings superhero, but I would love to see what you make of them as well.